Iver Johnson Target revolver model 55. Let's just reassemble this firearm. Get your pieces laid out. I've already dropped the screw in here. Pretty easy to put that in. Take a look at your trigger real quick and the orientation of it. So this is going to be your hand that comes up through the front to make the cylinder rotate. This right here is the little piece that's going to hook on the back of your hammer here. So trigger goes this way, this piece hooks to the back, this little piece drops in, your little spring on it. Take a quick peek at the orientation of the little wire they've got wrapped around. They use that wire as a spring, how it goes in the gun. So let's set it down. This piece that goes in, this is actually, when it comes back and you hit this, this is going to release off your hammer and make it fire. The tiny spring we put in the back, make sure that's in there. Set them down in the orientation in the way they're going to go in the gun. I'll let you take a quick peek at that. Inside here, we've got our spring. I already put the spring in here. And I've got the plunger. Let me turn it this way. Maybe you guys try to zoom in. You see the plunger right here? This plunger is going to hold the cylinder in so it rotates. You've got your small little odd-shaped wire here that's going to put tension on the trigger to hold it in place. So the little fins here, the little fins, see the curves? The curves face down. They face inward, and then this is going to scooch back just a little bit. You want to have these fairly close to this opening right here. So let's slide our hammer spring in. Let's insert it up in here. Let's just drop it in place. We'll put it right in. Now let's insert our hammer. So notice when the hammer goes in, this big curve right here on the hammer has got to go inside the frame when you put it together. See if I can drop it in and let you see that. Want to make sure you tilt it a little bit like this so it slips right in, goes into place. Hold your hammer here. There's a little tiny dent in the back of the hammer. You want to make sure that you get your spring in it. I'm going to put a little bit more tension on it. It's a little too loose. So I can wiggle that around and put that right into place there. So we just applied a little bit of pressure, not a whole lot. Just want to hold that in place. Now let's drop. This piece is going to hold your hammer in. Slide it through there. Wiggle the hammer around just a little bit. Get it to drop into position. Then we're going to tighten it up. There we go. Now, we're not going to crank this down. We're just going to secure it in place for now, okay? Just so our hammer functions and works. Our springs here, we're not going to put a lot of tension on that hammer yet. We need to work with it. Okay, at this point, you would take your small plunger right here, this little plunger. Make sure you drop it in. Drop your spring in. Have your little wire piece in place here. Let's install our trigger. See the look at the orientation of it there. We want to get our hand up in here, slide it in. A little bit of pressure on it. Make sure that little arm is in front of your hammer comes down. Make sure it's on this side of it. Your hand is going up this way so it can come through the front right here. So we want to just slide it in there. We don't want to force it. We don't want to break it. Just keep working it. There we go. So see, the hand showed up right here. coming through. Now, there's a little pawl that's on the bottom of the trigger that needs to pop up right here, okay? So there we go. You see the little pawl popped up? Our hand is in here. So we've got these positioned. We got our trigger in position. Let's just drop something in place. Hold our trigger in so it doesn't come out. Now, we need to put our trigger guard in. So, get a good look at the orientation of this as I put it in. Don't forget about your little spring right in here, okay? Slides right in. Like so. So it can go in the gun like this. Alright, we're just going to slide this in. Nice and easy. We may just need to get this front secured. I'm just going to have to hold it where I can see in here to drop this thing in. So I can get that in place. Alright, so we're holding the front in. So we got the trigger guard in place. We now need to get this into the correct position so that we can slide a pin in it. Okay, I got it in the position. Let's see if we can push this one out while pushing this one through at the same time without losing. So we pushed it through from the bottom. The reason we're doing that is we are going to hammer this pin in, and we're going to push this out as we hammer this pin into position. Make sure when you hammer this pin in, you find the one that has the little, it's got little ridges and edges cut into it so that it stays into place, and the little rounded end's going to go in first, okay? We're going to slide it through, and then we're just going to tap it into position and try to tap the other one out. There we go. So we tap this out as we tap the pin in and get our trigger in the position, or our trigger guard in the position. All right, let's put this pin in. Nice and easy. Drop it in the position. So make sure we got it in the right way up. I got the edges up here. There we go. Close enough to hold it for now. We do not have this pin. Let's put something a little bigger in there to hold it. There we go. So when the trigger guard arrives, this pin will be coming with it. So let's turn it over. Let's put our cylinder in. Make sure we're at half cock. Right here, we're at half cock. Then we're just going to lay that in place. Push our button in here a little bit. Maybe we can get a little relief off that thing. Snap it into position. There it goes. So we're snapped into position here. Now, this guy with this spring on it. I see now why this spring was missing. I am not going to put that spring back in. That spring is difficult to work with. This thing is really tight. We have to press this button in to get it to go in. Let's put a little more tension on the hammer as we're doing this. Our finished product, our Iver Johnson in the Target 8. So we took it apart, we removed all the rust, we blued it and put it back together again. Looks like a brand new gun, doesn't it? It's actually a beautiful firearm. Don't push your responsibility as an adult off onto a child. Buy gun locks and gun safes. Till next time, folks, take care.